Hello everyone, welcome to CanQuest. So today we will be discussing the Hindu newspaper. I have read the main headlines. So let's see. The first news is back channel talk goes on before Balakot. GS2. Yeah, section 2 foreign journalists were involved in India-Pakistan messaging, says new book. These key revelations are happening. Okay. All about, let's see. By Ajit Doval. Okay, hijack diplomatic failure. NSA strike. Okay, Vibhushan Jadhav was an asset, not an officer. Didn't have training in intelligence. ISI set a trap for Jadhav, lured him to Pakistan. Corrupt police officials helped Jaish terrorists attack the Pathankot airbase. Okay, so here we need to know about ICC, the National Criminal Court as well, because Bhushan is there. So let's know. In Jadhav case, Park passes bill. It was an earlier news, and also we had talked about this ICJ. So now also, let's see. It is a context. Sudan, it's another news, but still we can know about ICC, National Criminal Court, and that is located in Hague, Netherlands. The last court of last resort for prosecution of genocide, war crimes, international crimes against humanity, and first permanent treaty-based ICC established to help and impute traitors of the most serious crimes of concern to the international community. Entered into force July 1, 2002. Although the court's expenses are funded primarily by state. Okay. It also receives voluntary contributions from governments, international organizations, individuals, corporations, and other entities. That is ICC. Then what is the composition? There is ICJ and then ICC. Both are different. Courts management oversight and legislative body, assembly of states parties consist of one representative from each state party. Okay. And each state party has one vote, and every effort has to be made to reach decisions by consensus. If consensus reached, decisions are made by vote. Then assembly is presided over by a president and two vice presidents. Then what is the difference between ICJ and ICC? ICJ, La Cour Internationale de Justice. La Cour Penale Internationale, that is ICC. One is 1946, other is 46 2002. Then official court of UN is ICJ. That is also in Hague, right? And ICC is independent. May receive, it's not very regular, may receive case referrals from UN Security Council. Okay, World Court is ICJ. Okay, official court ICJ, but ICJ is independent. Receive referrals from UNSC, then Hague. Both are in Hague. Contentious between parties and advisory opinions. And ICC, it's for criminal prosecution of individuals. It's mostly criminal in war crimes, crimes of aggression. Okay, humanity issues. In ICJ, sovereignty, boundary, and maritime disputes, trade, okay, human rights violation, all those things. UN funded ICJ. This get voluntary contributions from UN, Tom Statute, other organization as well. So coming to this, I just said because of Kulbhushan Yadav, ICJ, ICC difference is 1947, the other is 2002. The back foreign journalists were involved in India Pakistan messaging was there. Okay, then Himachal landslip happened. Coach. Then Kasiranga Ghats get satellite phones. It is the first national park in India to do so. What is that? It's in Assam. Equipped with the satellite phones. Provide boosting anti-poaching measures. Okay. Used the Pocket 6 ring, no wireless or has become the first in the country to use satellite phones, which are generally used by law enforcement agencies. It gives an edge to the forest personnel over the poachers. They can use these things in the emergency like floods. Okay. Public debarred from using the satellite phones. BSNL. Then government schools to get world class education. International Baccalaureate in Steel to become knowledge partner Delhi's Board of School Education. And add this an education section as well. DBSC Delhi School Board. So they're collaborating. Globally acclaimed educational programs. Then high standards development workshops. Let's go to the editorial section without any delay. Make to issue a Supreme Court against NGT order on Mekadatu. So NGT National Green Tribunal 2010 Act statutory body quasi judicial tribunal. So Tamil Nadu Karnataka issues UK Forest Conservation Act 2003, then EIA 2006 Impact. Okay. Maratha agitation. 127th Amendment Bill. Okay. What's it all about? Yesterday we didn't discuss that, right? So let's see. What is 127th? Cancel date. Yeah. Bill to restore states' rights to specify. So now states can specify what OBC groups. 127th Amendment Bill 2021 passed with unanimous support and to allow states and UTs to prepare their own list of socially and educationally backward classes. On May 5, what is the need? By scrapping separate quota for the Maratha community in Maharashtra, Supreme Court had ruled that after a 2018 amendment in the constitution, that is 102, CA, neither central government could notify socially and backward, that is say SCBCs, not the states. Now 127, what they say is state governments and UTs also decide. What is 102? Inserted Article 338B, 342A, um, and then to giving constitutional status National Commission for Backward Classes. An interpretation of this um, struck a blow to authority of state governments in identifying. Now, high rates of 127th bill is to restore the power of state governments to identify OBCs that are socially and economically backward. And please note that in May 2021, got already said that only the central government for such identification. So this bill, why it came out, provide that the president may notify the list of only for the purpose of um, the central list will be provided and maintained by central government, and bill enables the state and UTs also to prepare their own list and must be made by law and may differ from the central list. And what is the list? National Commission for Backward Classes. There is an act, 1993 act, and 102 gave it constitutional status, 2018. And empowered the president to notify the socially for any state or purposes. So till then it was central government and consultation with the NCBC. Article 338B mandates state and center to consult. Both needs to consult with NCBC. Okay, then what is the implications of new bill 127 to passing 617 caste would benefit to the states' rights to make their own, so they can make their own list. That 27th Amendment Bill. Just one note to add it. This that is about 127. So Maratha agitation. Yes, this is also there. Connect solution. And coming to the editorials, the importance of the booster dose to plan ahead. So that is execution of such a vaccination campaign. The immune is why going for a booster dose, current schedules, strategy ahead. So what is right now happening? Okay. An urban job safety net. MGNREGS. It's time to formulate a wage employment based urban livelihood. Right role MGNREGS. Urban is also needed. Rural divide is there. So about Dhyan Chand. It's in Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh. Yes. Kinnaur district. Landslip. Floods in UP. Ganga Yamuna above the danger mark. Okay. Justice Rohinton Nariman retires today. Yeah, Nariman. So that is something like Chandrachud. We know that is famous Springwood's Renaissance man. That is Nariman. He was sui generis on the what is that? Sui generis means I mean very sharp, brisk, fearless, and armed with repartees. He did not suffer incompetence and frivolous cases in court, dismissing both without mercy. 1993, CGM Venkatachalai amended court's rules to designate him age of 37. He was appointed Solicitor General in 2011, became only the fifth lawyer in the nation's history to be directly appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court in 2014. Okay, directly. A Parsi priest, scholar of classical Western music and theology, and a published author of his Penguin, which is releasing his new work. Discordant notes the voice of dissent in the last court of resort. Justice Nariman almost single-handedly steered the IBC code, solvency and bankruptcy code in its teething years. In 164 judgments, Spring out judgments on the code, and 81 were authored by him. His judgment in its 7-year tenure tapped the myriad nerves of social and legal fabric. Okay. He amended rules following his judgment that review petitions filed by them to okay. There are so many famous cases. Okay. So where I say about Justice Rohinton Nariman. Okay. He was a Renaissance man, Supreme Court, sui generis, RC priest, scholar, then he done the IBC 16. Many famous condemned the prisoners should be heard in open court, striking down 66A of IT Act. And Shreya Sringal case, where Singhal case for freedom of speech and press, the arc of the covenant of democracy because it is essential for the working of the institutions. Need to decriminalize homosexuality, then Shabarimala verdict and his absence on the Ayodhya bench, triple talaq verdict, criminal candidates elections. Then final was one of speaker's power to take a decide disqualification should be taken away. The parliament independent tribunal should be formed. So that was his suggestion. So that is him. And what is whip? Let's see what is whip. What? Who is a whip? Okay. The context is Congress has appointed party now has the same number of whips and chief whips in the upper houses. Okay, what is a whip? So that is our question. Whip is an official of a political party who acts as a party's enforcer inside the legislative assembly or a house, state legislative assembly or Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, anywhere. So official of a political party. Parties appoint a senior member from among their house contingents to issue whips. This member is called as chief whip, where she is assisted by additional whips. Okay, to issue whips. What is whip? Party's enforcer. They inherited this concept from British parliamentary system. He adopted so many conventions from Britain. A whip in parliamentary parlance is also a written order that party members must be present for and be present for important vote that they vote only in a particular way. It's a written order. What is the role of whips? They try to ensure that their fellow political party legislators attend voting sessions and vote according to their party's official policy. So they need to ensure that it's party enforcer. If whip is disobeyed, what happens? They face disqualification proceedings if he or she disobeys the whip of the party unless the corrupt lawmakers define the whip as two-thirds of the party strength in the House. Disqualification is decided by Speaker of the whip. There is a limitation. There are some cases, presidential elections, where whips cannot direct an MP or MLA to vote. അപ്പോൾ പ്രസിഡൻഷ്യൽ ഇലക്ഷനിൽ അങ്ങനെ ഡയറക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അതായത് ഇങ്ങനെ തന്നെ ചെയ്യണം പറയാൻ പറ്റിയിട്ട് എം പിയോ എം എൽ എയോ. മറ്റെല്ലാ കാര്യത്തിലും അങ്ങനെ പറയാം. അപ്പം നടന്നില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ക്യാൻ ബി ഡിഫെക്ഷൻ ക്യാൻ ബി ഡിസ്ക്വാളിഫൈ ചെയ്യാം. 3 ടൈപ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. 1 ലൈൻ വിത്ത് 2 ലൈൻ 3 ലൈൻ. അതെന്താണെന്ന് പീപ്പിൾ പ്രിഫർ. ഓക്കെ, that's about the whip. Then termination of a house. We think about that. Then let's see. This Sabha adjourned 2 days ahead of schedule. Sees 22% productivity. Okay. Sacrilege. and bill on OPC list. We already discussed on 27. Okay, so let's see the termination process. This termination of the session of Parliament. So the context is Lok Sabha adjourned Synod 2 days ahead of its scheduled date to Pegasus, farm bills, and other issues. So the performance or outcomes of the latest session, 0 hour. What is 0 hour? It's a time allotted to raise important for any without any preparation. Okay, so was most affected. So this question hour session in the 0 hour find disruptions and most of the days was managed to pass 20 bills without debate or participation from the opposition. So that is the implication of performance outcome. 0 hour and the question hour. Not so which is the first session? It's a question hour. And the last ends with the 0 hour. Okay. And then termination of session. The sitting of parliament can be terminated by adjournment or adjournment synodi or prorogation or dissolution. In the case of Lok Sabha, dissolution can be done, otherwise not. Okay, what is adjournment? Adjournment means to suspend of work in a sitting for a specified time, for hours, days, weeks. That is adjournment. Then synodi. Now the parliament went for synodi, indefinite period. That is adjournment synodi. Um, Not specified. That is without naming a day for reassembly. പറയാതെ അങ്ങ് പോവാം. Power of adjournment as well as adjournment synodi lies with the presiding officer, that is speaker or chairman of the house can decide that. And what is prorogation? It's done by president. Issues a notification for prorogation of the session after the business of the session is completed. The presiding officer declares the house adjourned synodi. So while in session also, president can also prorogate. The dissolution, only the Lok Sabha is subject to dissolution. Rajya permanent house ആണ് ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അതായത് dissolution is a end 5 years new house ആണ് പിന്നെ വരേണ്ടത് after general elections. And the president is who is empowered. Prorogation and dissolution is done by president. Okay. And adjournment, general synodi, speaker or a chairman of that. That is about termination. Okay. So yesterday there was about criminalization of politics. So let's see that also. The context is Supreme Court has warned the Parliament about the advent of criminals in politics, imposed fines on major political parties. Okay. So in February 2020 judgment directed to publish their criminal history on the homepage. Candidates with criminal antecedents within 48 hours of their selection. And the right of information of a voter is more effective and meaningful. Launch a dedicated mobile app also for voters to get details of the criminal history of the candidates at the touch of a button. How many of them use this? form a separate cell to monitor political parties in their compliance with the court judgments. September 2020, the report filed by Apex Amicus Curie, that is total 4,442 cases pending against legislators across the country. Number of cases against sitting MPs, MLAs, 2,556. The cases were pending in various special courts exclusively set up to try case registered against politicians. And the cases against legislatures include corruption, money laundering, damage to public property, defamation, cheating. All this comes under it. Violation of Section 188 IPC for willful disobedience and obstruction of orders promulgated by public servants, and 413 cases in respect offences which are punishment imprisonment for life. Um, Sitting 174 cases. Large number were pending at the appearance stage and non-bailable warrants, not executed, and highest number is in UP pending. So there is pendency, criminalization issue. RPA say on this representative law cannot contest elections only after their conviction in a criminal case. Section 8 of RPA Act PA 1959 disqualifies a person with a sentence of 2 years or more under trial can continue to eligible. The reasons for conduct is corruption, vote bank, then lack of governance, not excluding well. What is the way out or way forward is political parties should themselves refuse tickets to the tainted. If you find those, then don't allow them to contest. RPA should be amended to debar persons against whom, in case of heinous nature, spending from contesting elections, and fast track courts should decide the cases of tainted should be decided quickly. Then bring transparency in campaign financing. Election Commission should have the power to audit financial accounts of political parties. So this is a way forward can be done. Okay. The bills got passed. OBC list already set. Page 127. Debate on OBC bill shows the new avatar of Mandal politics. Regional parties are at the forefront of this debate. That is, state duties get the right. Okay, it was done unanimously. Social and political mobility unleashed by the Mandal Committee recommendations are unfolding in each decade in a different way. Consumer disputes ban or vacancies. Address it. Yeah, insurance bill also. Business bill. case. Let's see about this consumer dispute redressal. This is a context. Supreme Court has given the center and the states 8 weeks to fill the vacancies in consumer disputes redressal commissions, and also asked the center to conduct a comprehensive legislative impact study on the Consumer Protection Act 2019. Concerns expressed by the court: the laws have been made for the benefit of people, but states are defeating the purpose for which consumer protection laws have been made. Court also questioned if governments, both at the center and the states, have deliberately kept the vacancies pending to dissuade people from filing complaints. Okay, center's arguments on why it is being delayed. There are vacancies which are not filled yet. Okay, it's against consumer rights, right? Tenure of tribunal members. Introduction 1986. This is a three-tier structure: state commissions and district forums, quasi-judicial bodies. It is headed by a district judge, and each state commission headed by a person judge of high court. Ambit: goods as well as services. Manufacturer, produced and sold to consumers through wholesalers and retailers. In the nature of transport, telephone, electricity, housing, banking, insurance, medical treatment, etc. How is grievance redressal carried out? There is a written complaint can be filed before the District Consumer Forum, State Commission, National Commission. No complaint can be filed for alleged deficiency in any service that is rendered free of charge. അങ്ങനെയാണ് പറ്റുള്ളൂ. Remedy under the Consumer Protection Act is an alternative in addition that already available to the aggrieved civil suit. It is not required to pay any court fees, only nominal fee. Okay. In appeals, if a consumer is not satisfied, then can appeal to State Commission, then National Commission, like that. Three-layer tier. To help objectives of Consumer Protection Act, National Commission with the powers of administrative complement the State Commissions. In latest 2019 amendment അനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് എന്താണ് പറയുന്നത്? Will be district, state, national level. District, all the judicial commissions, and pecuniary jurisdiction 1 crore, 1 crore to 10 crore, then above 10 crore respectively. That is, district ആണെങ്കിൽ 1 crore വരെ, then 10 crore വരെ, then above 10 crore. അങ്ങനെ. Fair of unfair contracts, state commissions will hear up to 10 crore, above that value also. Unfair terms of such and void ആണ്. 86-19 തമ്മിലുള്ള ഒരു ഡിഫറൻസ്: മീഡിയേഷൻ സെൽ, ഇ-കൊമേഴ്സ്, ജൂറിസ്ഡിക്ഷൻ. എൻ്റെ കാര്യം എങ്ങനെയാണ്? സെപ്പറേറ്റ് റെഗുലേറ്റർ. Okay, it's all about that. I'm coming to the economy page. We didn't read the editorial. Okay. I highlighted. Okay, Taliban could take over Kabul in 90 days. So it's done. Biden to host Democracy Summit in December. From PSIR perspective, it is important. Democracy Summit, state, civil society, philanthropy, and the private sector. Fighting corruption, authoritarianism, human rights, everything is there. Okay. American democracy. We've done 65% only, 90 days left for Kabul. Infrastructure bill. Mr. Bombings in Sri Lanka. Economy page says it is says it is a give up untapped space in says. Completely exit erstwhile PSUs. Deepam Pandey, savory tea. This Deepam investment and public asset management. That is Department of Deepam. So let's see what is says. What are special economic zones? Okay. Context is government has proposed free up unused built up area worth about 30,000 crore and idle land inside CES. What is the need? CES account for about 30% of India's exports. Export 30% CES ആണ്. But there is 10 crore square feet of space idle in built up accommodation ഇടയിൽ തന്നെ ഒരുപാട് സ്പേസ് ഐഡിലായിട്ട് കിടപ്പുണ്ട്. Over 250 cess in money terms the 3,000 per square foot എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 30,000 crore of built up area can be brought into play for anything else. So what is cess? They are geographically delineated enclaves in which regulations and practices related to business and trade differ from the rest of the country, and therefore all the units therein enjoy special privileges. So they are enclaves, geographically delineated enclaves. But they have different rules, special privileges. Basic idea was from the fact that it might be very difficult to dramatically improve infrastructure and business environment of the overnight economy. So much shorter time and efficient enclaves. The objectives is to create additional economic activity, then boost export goods and services, generation of employment, then to boost domestic and foreign investments, then to develop infrastructure facilities like that. So all those are aims of system facilities incentives, duty-free import, domestic procurement of goods for development, operation, and maintenance of such units, then income tax exemption on export income, then exemption from minimum alternate tax MAT, single window clearance for central and state level approvals, minimum alternate tax, what is that? Income tax exemption on export income, duty free import. Okay, so the exemption then. And concerns with present SC says is it's not successful as the other countries. China, Korea, Malaysia, Singapore got benefited, but India is not because it's not exporting, um, but for avoiding taxes. Large fiscal soaps of Punjab lives its lowered 11% to avoid taxes, and most manufacturing cess in India would have performed below par due to their poor linkages with the rest of the country. It's not linked enough and weak connections of coastal cess. So many areas are getting wasted. Do not match central cess act with state level legislation is also different. The lack of a robust policy design implementation. So that's why we need to change that unused results. That's all about today. So before winding up, let's see the editorial. And so only one part is important. One, two, urban, build, divide, and then insights on Madhya Pradesh. They launched Mukhyamantri Shahari Ajivika Guarantee Yojana, like that. Some crucial insights. An urban livelihood scheme can be launched within the existing fiscal space. Not even states can provide resources together. Separate minimum wages for rural don't cause migration to urban areas since the high cost of living is an offsetting effect. Asset creation to service delivery, economic vaccine, so urban jobs, safety net, livelihood scheme is needed, and boosted us to plan ahead. Okay, so that's all about today. See you in the next one. And there is a fact also, from the film's perspective, if you ask me, that is Maharashtra declared I think I will tell you that. Yeah. Maharashtra announces Rajiv Gandhi Award in IT. Maharashtra. It's not very important. I have two ones. Right? Okay, so that's it for today. See you